Welcome to ACT Fitness Radio, the podcast teaching you to aspire, conquer, and transform your body and mind. Here's your host, Adam Castro.
What's up, everybody? This is Adam, and I'm here with Jaylene.
Yo, you get a yo.
You get a yo?
Yiggity yo.
Oh, yiggity yo. I thought you said you get a yo.
Oh my goodness.
Like a yo-yo.
Do you know where that's from?
No. What's yiggity yo?
Oh my goodness. Yo, yiggity yo is from Juno, the movie.
Oh, Juno the movie.
Oh my.
I don't think I did see it once.
Doesn't even know.
I don't. That's the chick from Inception, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think.
Right?
I don't know.
I think she's in Inception. Pretty sure.
I think so. Sure, why not?
Oh, yes, we've got our coffees. So good. They know our coffees at Starbucks now.
Yes,
they know
they
our coffees.
do. We love you, Starbucks in La Habra. I don't know if there are any other Starbucks in La Habra.
Off of Whittier and Beach.
Woo!
Woo! Like, seriously, there's like 4 different people who know our exact coffees.
Yes.
And it's because, evidently it's because we're weird. We're the only ones who order shorts.
Breve.
Not shorts like the ones you put on.
Right.
The short cups.
Yeah.
They're little 8-ounce cups.
They're the kids' cups.
Yeah.
Nobody but kids order the kids' cups.
But we've hacked the system, remember? Remember, we've said this before. 2 shots of espresso is the same amount of caffeine in a short cup as it is in a tall or a venti or a grande.
Yes.
So we just end up getting the short because we don't want to have too much of that half and half, and we get the breves.
It's true.
And yeah, they know exactly. We walk in and they're like, "Yeah, we got you covered. We got your drinks. We got your drinks down."
We're not proud or anything.
No, I mean, we miss the Arc. We miss Arc.
Yes.
That was Arc Coffee Company.
Yes.
Which was down Beach Boulevard. By the 24-hour fitness in La Mirada.
Yes.
We used to go there all the time.
It was off of Beach and Hillsborough.
Yeah, Beach and Hillsborough. Oh, and I missed it so much, but it ended up changing owners.
Yep.
And the coffee was still good, but it just wasn't Arc. You know, when you fall in love with a certain coffee place and you've gone so much and it becomes home.
It's true.
And you know the Wi-Fi password by heart, then then when it goes away, you're kind of heartbroken.
Yeah, it's true. It left and took our hearts with it.
Yeah, so we've switched over to just the local Starbucks, but there's some awesome people there.
We're not bitter, it's fine. I'm just kidding.
Guys, we got an awesome episode for you today. We met with Bryan Degiuseppe with $5mealz.com.
That's number $5 Mealz with a Z.
Meals with a Z. And they're a meal prepping business based in Pasadena, California. And we had an awesome time talking with Bryan about his business, meal prepping in general, and how it helps clients to reach their fitness goals. Fatherhood. He's a brand new father, and so he's now resonating with so many people who have the dilemma of not having enough time, not feeling like they have enough time to actually go to the gym or actually be able to make and prepare food for them to actually be successful in their fitness goals. And he's actually got a training background along with his business that he has right now. So this ended up being a very practical and very informative, very helpful conversation.
All of the stars aligned.
Oh, yeah. And I also need to point out, too, it's just awesome when you get to meet someone in our community who has such an integrity and passion for helping people. And that is absolutely Bryan, and that is $5 Mealz. So you're gonna love this episode, you're gonna love this conversation, and if you struggle with keeping your nutrition on point, then you're gonna love the services that $5 Mealz provides. So we want to make sure you know where to go. If you'd like to visit their website, it's actually the number 5 and then spelled out $mealz with a Z.com. And then if you'd like to follow them on Instagram, 5 is actually spelled out on their tag, so it's at FIVE $mealz with a Z as their tag. So go ahead and look them up on Facebook, visit their website, and sit tight because here's the episode.
Being somebody who was in the supplement industry, who's been a trainer before, the hardest thing for me ever was to get people to eat.
Yeah.
And so you know that.
Yeah, so you've been a trainer before. Where did you train?
I trained out at Coliseum and back in the bodybuilding days with Milo Sarchev. personal training, just, you know, the local gyms before these kind of things were here, was just
Yeah.
like hustling in 24. And
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like, hey guys, just working out for 6 hours a day, you know. Find
Get
this,
a free gym membership. It's
yeah,
all good, right?
Exactly.
Cool gig.
Find a gym with the stairs so you can like hop up and down all day. And I mean, one of the struggles we had was, okay, great, you can take protein powder, cool, that's easy. They do that once a day, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool, you can take a pre-workout, great, you're working out with me for an hour, but that 90% of the time I'm not with you. They're like, oh, well, my coworker had this or brought that.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's just lack of preparation. And so we've worked with other meal prep companies before, personally, and it's great. It just gets a little expensive.
Yeah.
And so it's like, hey, you're paying me to train. You're paying for the gym membership. You're paying for supplements. Now I need you to pay for food.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, dude, you're going to make me go broke, you know?
Right.
$8, $9, $12, $13 a meal, like 4 times a day. There's no way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
I like the concept of the $5 meals because it's $5 a meal.
And it's an actual meal.
Yeah.
Like, it's actual food.
It's macronutrients, protein and carb.
One
Simple.
thing that I've kind of grown to see as I've dived a little bit more into supplements and what goes on behind closed doors with how supplements are put together with certain companies. You find out that it's really not all it's cracked up to be a lot of the time. That companies lie and they'll spike protein powders. Unfortunately,
Sure.
you got to find that really good company that's has total integrity and total transparency.
Yeah.
And then even when you find those companies, then that gets super expensive. When I find that people who lean more towards the supplements, it's usually because they don't have their nutrition on track, and that problem just hasn't been solved yet. Like, that structure just hasn't been built. And one of the things that we believe is, like, we have to tackle that first. Like, it's great if you've got this structure and then we still don't have that protein. All right, let's go ahead and find a protein powder that we like. But if that structure isn't there, a protein powder isn't going to fix that.
Right.
You know, building that structure and then finding a company that helps you to fall into that structure is what's most beneficial.
Absolutely.
I was going to ask you, is bodybuilding your style of training? I always like to.
Yeah, I'm about 40 pounds under my weight right now.
Okay, what are you doing right now to stay fit? What are you?
Well, I'm a dad now, so there's dad body. I turned 30 in June. I will.
Okay.
And so we were just talking about this with my girlfriend in the car. I'm like, you know what, babe? By 30, I'm getting in shape. So it's kind of funny that I'm, pedaling all around town, giving out meals and driving them around, delivering. But I'm like, man, I'm not really sticking to it. I still eat good macros. I still make sure I hit at least 150, but I need to get back to like 300 gram level a day, and it's been a while. Did it for 8-9 years straight, and so now it's like I took like a 4-year hiatus. I did like 4 to 8 bottles of vodka a day instead. I was like, I need a break. I didn't drink. I didn't do anything for like 7-8 years. And so
well, and what when you were at your peak, what was your weight at?
I was about 205.
205. Okay.
Yeah, we'll throw a pickup for the podcast. No, I'm just kidding. And I think I want to just, before I hit 30, I definitely want to gain like 10-20 pounds back. So just get pretend like I do it.
Not only is it difficult when you're a part of a business that's helping other people with their fitness, especially when you're a trainer and your clientele moves up and you start finding like, oh no, I only have like an hour window or I only have an hour and a half window now, and you're trying to fit things in that window. Sometimes your workouts suffer for the sake of you helping out your clients and making sure that their workouts aren't suffering.
Right.
So that's already a difficult position. But talk about being a father now. How does that change your dynamic?
Well, it's kind of funny because it's hilarious because you think you don't have nobody has time for anything, right? We always make things happen if we want to, right? Like, okay, cool, I got one business over here, now you don't have any time, and then all of a sudden you try to get another one, and you had the same amount of time, but all of a sudden you have time for that now. And then you get a girlfriend, and then you get a kid, and so like the one thing I didn't have time for, quote unquote, now that I have 3 other things going on, it's like you all of a sudden have time. And so like I think the meal prep thing, using myself as an example, like I don't have time to work out anymore, I don't have time. It's like I used to make time for only working out, and then be like, I don't know, I might go to work today, like let me see if I have call-in, so I just got to put that back into the stream of things, and especially having a daughter now, like I got to get bigger, like
you got to start prepping yourself for
it's just lack of preparation. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm over here teaching people, but I'm not doing it.
Prioritizing, certain things.
And how did you feel about fatherhood and fitness? I have a family, so I don't have time for taking care of myself because I have to take care of them. I don't have time, and they want to. They're at the end of the day, they're super tired, they get super lazy, they're super fatigued, and so they end up just sitting on the couch instead of going and putting in time or trying to do a home workout even. What was your perspective before and after?
I've always been pretty proactive with it, but compared to the bodybuilding days, I'd call myself a lazy, you know what? Now, I'll hit like back in the day it was split training circuits, supersets, having fun in the gym, and you look forward to it all day. Like I finally have that itch back now, but I needed that 3 or 4 years off. Honestly, I just needed to recover, rest, more mentally than physically.
Yeah,
Like
totally.
I just needed to chill.
That's really important, and when you do get back, it's going to be so much different.
I can't
since
wait.
You did take that mental vacation.
Yeah, I didn't want to go to the gym. Like for 8 years, all I did was watch Pumping Iron. All I did was like what's Jay Cutler saying today, or what's Milo saying, or Ronnie. And it's like I just watched that all day. That was my life. And so for like 4 years, I just kind of like chilled, and gave myself a break. And today I was like, hey, I can't. Like I was at Johnny Incredible's just now, pizza place. And
right.
Everybody's having beers, and for the first time in 4 years, I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna have a beer. I'm gonna pump today. Like I'm gonna train. And so like I can't wait to go back today, smash a meal because I got the meals now. So I'm like, eat them,
Absolutely,
and then go pump. And I can't wait for that.
Sometimes all it takes is that just motivation of I gotta get this started. I gotta take actions in the right direction, take steps in the right direction. For people, motivation is huge. And when there's no motivation, you don't want to go to the gym. You don't want to make those things happen. You just get further and further and further away from that actually happening.
And as far as having a significant other and kids or a kid is concerned, we don't have kids, so we obviously can't speak to that full effect. But I started babysitting this little boy in the mornings, and I have a 2-hour window. His mom has requested that I wash the dishes, do the laundry, change the sheets, make his breakfast, and make his lunches all within a 2-hour window. And when I first started doing it, I'm like, that's an insane, like, I don't know anybody in their right mind who would want to do all of that in a 2-hour window, but it's possible.
Yeah.
And I can do it, so I hope that's an encouragement to...
And I'll be really grateful that you have that skill.
I'm like kicking and screaming the whole time.
That's advice right there, like, make sure you're cooking, cook and clean first.
Jeez, I don't normally wake up at 7 in the morning. For me, that's early. I'm just saying, so to wake up and then have to do all of that in a certain time frame.
Oh yeah.
And that's where you kind of have to see, okay, now that we see all the things that we want to do, what are the things that we have time for? Do we have time to make food? Do we have time to go to the gym and drive it? Do we have time to make sure everything is prepped and ready? And if we don't, then we need to start. That's really where the thing is if you don't, are you going to start making excuses, or are you going to start asking, what can I do to make it happen? Right? Is there a dollar amount that I can go ahead and pay to make this happen? Right. Can I get resistance bands and start working out at home? Can I, if you have the money to be able to do it, can I make a home gym and just start working out in the garage and doing that?
Yeah.
I think when people start drowning themselves into the excuses, I think they're just giving up. They're just trying to make excuses for giving up.
We all do it. I just caught myself doing it for the last probably year. I took a 3-year break, but I was getting back into it for the last year. And then the most motivation in the world is a baby. That thing will make you move miles in the not like cute way. Like, oh shit, that thing needs to eat. Like, hey, that needs to have a routine. Like, you have a bad month. Like, hey, my mom, hey, my brother, hey, I'm crashing this month, dude. Like, that was my bad month. Whatever. You just keep going. Yeah. But now you're like, oh, I have a baby. I have a girl. Like, I can't be like, hey, babe, we're gonna go live with my mom for a couple days. Which is still fine. But like, once you get out of that step, then they don't want you to go backwards. You want to move forward, right?
Yeah. And now there's this new motivation that you have to be an example. Right. You have to show that she has this future ahead of her, that she doesn't need to worry about things being provided for her. That she doesn't have to worry about things not being open, opportunities not being there for her, because you want to be able to provide that. And I think that's an insane amount of motivation to make things happen.
It's a massive fuel. It's crazy. So, but one of the things that, coming from a trainer's perspective, I guess, because I look at it from both sides. I look at it from the trainer side, and then also like the couch potato side that I kind of fell into for a while. The drinking, the fun. It was a good time. Like, I needed that time in my life for sure. But now that I had a chance to live both lifestyles, I'm like, okay, going from 30 to 40, it's obviously a better choice to get back into bodybuilding, because obviously your body wants nutrients, not vodka as much.
Yeah. Do you hear that?
Yeah.
For all you listeners.
And I'm assuming most people that listen to this are either in fitness or they, obviously a client of yours. I think that the biggest thing is just preparation. Whether you get meal prep or not, from a trainer perspective, it's huge to just make sure you have your next 5 meals ready.
Yeah.
I always ask every client, all right, I know you did your workout. I know you have your water on point. I know you didn't eat bread at the luncheon, but where are your next 3 meals?
Yeah.
Okay, they're in the fridge. Are they cooked? No. Then you're not prepared. It's like what happens on the busiest day of the year is how you should plan your entire meal plan, right? Like that's what I always tell everybody. Like if you're the busiest person, because things come up, are you prepared? Like if the turkey's in the fridge but it's in the package, you're not prepared. You bought it, but it's no different than being at the store.
That's
and
true.
you have to be okay with making those tough decisions, like limiting yourself. And I was just talking to one of my clients. It's not even restrictive. It's just structured. It's just a structured meal plan.
That's it.
It's not restrictive. It's not like the food tastes bad. It's not like the food is not diverse.
Grass.
You know?
Yeah, it's not
grass. Yeah. You're not just having broccoli and chicken breast.
Right.
That's it. No, but no, it's good food, and you're just structuring it in a way that's actually going to help you to reach your goals. And then if you do go out and you do it, you're saying, do you have the next 3 meals prepared? If you know where you're going to go eat, are you looking at the menu ahead of time and deciding what is actually going to be a healthy option for you? Are you open to tracking? Are you open to at least getting a structured meal plan from a company like $5 Mealz where it's actually set for you and you know exactly what's in it?
Yeah.
And some people just see those as way too extreme. But you have to make those decisions if you actually want to reach your goals.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. So I saw on the website you get to pick from various types of meat, 3 different types of meat.
Right.
And what are the carbohydrate options? How does that work?
So the way the $5 Mealz is structured is, obviously we know that meal prepping can get boring. Like I never like to eat food that's 7 days old. I just can't. Like some people can do it for 7 days. That's great. More power to them. But I'm usually every 3 to 4 day kind of guy.
Yeah.
And I like the way they deliver. It's like Monday, Thursday. That's their schedule. So that way on Monday you get a variety of different carbs and proteins, and on Thursday you get something totally different. And so it might be like one day chicken and bell peppers with sweet potato, and then on the Thursday it'll be chicken with maybe just zucchini with rice.
Okay.
And so that way it's always different, or quinoa or sweet potato. We keep it super clean. Like we don't have any pastas, flour, stuff like that.
And actually it's been really cool to see how clean that is, how clean the base is, because then I don't know if you guys encourage the people who purchase those meals to say, hey, if you've got mustard that you want to slap on there, go ahead. If you got, I know you had given us some sriracha sauce, right? And
so the first time anybody tries a meal, I'm like, look, that is, and I almost tell them, hey, $5 Mealz is a great name, but I almost like the name base meal as well, because it's really just the base of a meal, right? It's just like, if someone's like, hey, you're my trainer, what should I eat, bro? Like, what do I have? Okay, well, chicken and rice. Well, that's so boring. But if you put like chicken and rice with a certain dressing on one day and a certain dressing the next day, you have 5 or 6 different sauces. You're solid, dude. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Put some crunchy stuff. That's one thing I'm trying to implement with them as well right now.
Okay.
I like crunch, and a lot of people are like, if you just put some little tortilla strips or just a few, like Valentine's strips,
absolutely.
Like it takes the ground beef bowl is now like I'm at Panda Express, it's incredible,
And for a standard nutritional breakdown of macronutrients, I like that the fat is on the lower side. So even if you wanted to have more of a even all across the board macronutrient, you can add a certain olive oil if you wanted to, and it would be perfect.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then the carbohydrates are right in line with the protein, it seems like, for every meal. So if you wanted to add a little extra carbohydrates just to bring up the carbohydrate intake, you can. You can add tortilla chips to this.
Or we're trying to stay away from tortillas.
Right.
Gluten-free ones.
You're talking to a Mexican here.
There we go. That's the structure of the company, is more or less, it has the trainer's meal plan in mind. It has also the clients, I'm not so hot to meal prepping yet, but I can do it, but I can move this a little bit in my own way. But it also is seasoned to know that, hey, you can add sodium. They're low sodium. Like, you can add it. So if anybody gets a meal and like they eat it raw, like, that was disgusting. It's not really meant to be eaten as it is. Just throw some sauce in there or throw some crunchy stuff.
I've even had clients throw just a little pinch of cheese in there, good
just
stuff.
Small things. Doctor it up. And you're just not spending, because most meal prep companies will give you chicken and rice, and then they charge an extra $3 or $4 for really just asparagus or a few pieces of zucchini. It's like a higher end vegetable that, if you really think about it, the meat and the rice, that's what you're paying for. That's what you want. The vegetable you can add for pennies on the dollar. But that's what they're getting the money for, because they have to buy in bulk. And so this company was kind of formed from watching other companies and how they had missing holes in their ship. And it wasn't sailing properly. because there's too many customizations. It becomes hard to deliver because you're doing 4 grams, 5 grams, 7 grams. The cooks can't keep up with that.
Right.
You know, like, how are you supposed to deliver that?
And it's been nice to see it evolve into providing now you guys provide the vegan meals as well, and then
breakfast
and breakfast bowls.
The yogurt bowls, the yogurt bowls are cool.
When you mentioned crunchy, are those breakfast bowls a little more crunchy? And
so the breakfast bowl is kind of like, I'm like left and right. So like, if I'm a trainer, I'm like, hey, my client is like us, where it's like they're trying to just build more muscle. Then it's like, all right, you can have a Greek yogurt bowl here and there. You know, or if I'm slowly getting somebody involved in like weight loss, okay, Greek yogurt bowl because you were before eating cereal.
Yeah.
You know, because I know everybody's different. I'm not a huge fan of dairy for weight loss. Some people can do it, some people can't. You know, but old school bodybuilding, try to keep the dairy out of it, right? Try to keep it lean. But it's more or less a stepping stone for somebody who goes from like either 1, not eating breakfast, or number 2, just like literally taco truck, or like, because I mean that's what I'm sure you get some crazy stories from people that they eat, and it's funny because everybody is on a meal plan. It's just a jacked up meal plan. They eat at the same taco truck every single day. They eat at the same bar. They drink the same stuff.
That's a great point. That's an absolutely beautiful point, that they are on a meal plan. They are creating a system for themselves.
Yeah, there's a structure. It's the wrong. It's just the wrong stuff inside of it.
They're having the cereal every single. I've made it a point to make sure. And I don't know if you agree with this or not, but we've kind of put ourselves under the influence of our culture's definition of what a breakfast should look like and what a lunch should look like and what a dinner should look like. That you have to have cereal in the morning, you have to have a sandwich for lunch, and then you have to have this steak and whatever dinner or whatever you want for dinner. And it's just not true. You don't have to have cereal in the morning. You don't even have to have eggs and bacon in the morning. You can have whatever the hell you want. You know, it's food, it's energy, and it doesn't really matter what it is in the morning. You want to obviously manipulate what kind of macronutrients you're having at whatever time of the day, but for the most part you don't need to fall under these cultural structures that we've just kind of been raised to accept.
Well, as a trainer, I'm sure you ask your clients like, so what do you have for breakfast, lunch, or dinner? They tell you, and then you go, what if because this was something I used to do, what if I took the word breakfast, lunch, and dinner away, right? So we take that was their structure, right? Take it away, and then just say it's meal 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then they go, okay, well, that's weird. Because I remember the time it clicked for me when I ate chicken and rice 4 times a day, and I was like, this is crazy. Like, I just had dinner 4 times a day, but it's not dinner. It's you had food. Macronutrients
it's just
4 times a day. You didn't have sugar and crap, but we're so conditioned, right, to think that I don't have that. I didn't have breakfast.
I think that's why it's harder for people to go on meal prep too, to have that structure of, for sake of conversation, we'll say lunch or dinner type foods more often. More often throughout the day, and then they may start to plateau a little sooner because they're used to having all the oils and all the dairy and everything that comes in the structure that they've already been building for themselves. So it's a little harder for them to transition.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's a beautiful point. Love that. What do you think about the idea of intermittent fasting and these fewer meals throughout the day? It doesn't necessarily line up with the $5 meal kind of structure that's being built there. There's small meals. They're about 380 calories, right? Yep. Just under 400. And so you can go ahead and get away with that 3 to 4 or 5 meals in the day. Some of I've even 6 or 7 even if you were trying to get higher in the calories.
Right.
What is your perspective on the intermittent fasting? And
so like after the last 12, 13 years of really being in it and being brainwashed to death on like the whole 5 meals a day, 6, 7, 8 meals a day, I'm at a point now where there's so much information out there, and I believe firmly that you can get to the same place with different roads. I totally agree with that, and I think that your genetic structure is one thing. Intermittent fasting, I've seen people just like eating 5 to 6 meals a day. Like I took 8 years to do it, and then I fell off completely. So it's not safe to say that's forever. Nothing's forever. So if you can maintain any diet, I think it will work for you. As long as the one common denominator, it seems that everything is, at the end of the day, how much did you have in total in that 24-hour window, right? So bodybuilder will tell you, well, you got to eat the same amount at the same exact time every single day to get it synced in. That could be something that they just did by habit and it worked. And then this guy said, well, I'm going to try to eat all my carbs. Because I had a guy, I don't know if you guys have heard of Joseph Lee, he's a pro physique guy. He plays in the Olympia. he was a friend of mine out here 8-9 years ago, and then now he's obviously a pro. And I used to see him eat, and he threw me off all 100%. He was eating all his carbs at one time, and then he would eat protein later. And it's like, wait, you just went against bodybuilding. You're a pro. So
that's a sin. No.
Yeah, I think that there's going to be tons of opinions on it. It's like training. You know, should I squeeze at the top? Should I let it down slow? The negative is more important than the positive, right? There's different science that'll prove anything right or wrong.
Yeah.
I think as long as you practice it long enough, and you get a result.
And have you ever done intermittent fasting?
I have not.
Intentionally?
I have not.
I say intentionally because unintentionally we skip breakfast all the time, right? Yes. Accidentally.
So, the one thing that bodybuilding instilled, I still have never gone more than 4 hours without some kind of protein.
Okay.
It's weird. Like even I'm surrounded by it, so I'll drink it. Like I have to. Like even though I'm low carb, but I'm just always have. It's like scary if I don't have something. You know?
Right. Yeah, we'd encourage you to try it out.
Yeah.
I think what we found, especially in training, even whenever you're consistently doing something for so long, the body gets used to it. The body starts not adapting as much to it, and I feel like what people need sometimes is just a break from that style of training, or a break from that style of food. Or you can change up the style of eating that you're having, change up the timing that you're having. If you've been intermittent fasting, go ahead and spend time eating 5 meals throughout the day, eating consistently throughout the day. If you've been powerlifting and lifting 1 to 6 reps for the last 3 years, go ahead and spend some time in a bodybuilding style training, or go ahead and spend some time in a endurance or performance style of training. I think when you step out of that for just even 3 weeks, and you come back revitalized, and this is what you're probably going to experience. You come back and you just feel revitalized and rejuvenated by that effect that style of workout has on your body.
Yeah. I can't wait. I have that sense of urgency right now. Like I'm already planned out. Okay, I'm gonna have chicken and I'm gonna have ground turkey. I'm gonna have fish, and I haven't thought like that in 4 years.
Yeah,
and that's cool.
And it's exciting. It's good too. And it's important to note you're not just coming into going back into training in a bodybuilding style and just thinking about the gym workouts.
Right.
You are hand in hand thinking, I'm going to work out in this style, bring up this kind of volume, and I'm also going to make sure that the nutrition is there to match it. I'm not just going to eat like crap while I'm working hard in the gym.
Of course, yeah. Absolutely.
You've got to
get those cells in there. We got to get the good stuff in the cells.
Yeah. You got to fuel the body to succeed when you go and you do those workouts.
Yep. I'm hoping we're definitely helping out some of the clients. I hope that it's working for them. It seems like I've had a couple clients that you guys have worked with.
I have a client. She just ordered. She is going to call today about her carbs.
Yeah.
Oh, and I was even... Okay, so you talked about customization, right?
Yeah.
And how a lot of companies, it's too customized, and so it's very difficult for them to actually get the price down and for them to meet the needs of reaching a lot of people. Do you guys do customization at all, or?
So in this segment of this $5 meals, our capacity, like what I told them I can take on personally, is 100 people, period. That's it. So that way we maintain the production, right? You don't spoil the food, because the food when it's delivered is cooked that day. Like that was one thing that was huge on, because I was like, it can never be frozen. It can never sit for more than a day or two, because I don't like food personally. Anything that I wouldn't eat, I'm not going to give somebody, right?
I'll admit too, I was very surprised that when you had delivered those meals,
it was
fresh. It was not frozen. I was expecting a frozen meal actually.
Most meals,
Well, most of the meal prep companies out there are doing that, and that just jacks up your preservatives, all the all the crap, the things you're trying to get away from. This is like a legit, I'm not in your house, but we're right next to you kind of thing. Like this is coming out hot. So yes, they can customize it because we're keeping the minimum or the maximum amount of people to 100, and so as of right now, it's possible.
Okay.
Absolutely,
So as $5 meals grows, they might step away from potentially customizing as well as
the customizations that we're not doing is like we're not going to take you want zucchini and you want asparagus and you want that. The stock veggie is spinach. So you can change up the carbs and the protein if you like, but the stock veggie, spinach.
Okay,
it's going to be spinach.
So if someone came up to you and they were like, "Hey, I've been using $5 meals.
None of that.
I've been using $5 meals, but I want to start switching to a ketogenic diet where now it's higher fat and protein, but way less carbohydrates."
Yeah.
Is that something that $5 meals speaks to?
They're getting there. I think they just got to master it because the fat sources. There's something we tried to do like a coconut oil rice, and it didn't do so well because it had incorporated the fats, but sitting for 3 days didn't work. So it could be on the side. There's got to be some kind of sauce that needs to be made, but the chef wants to throw it all, and they're like, let's throw everything. But I always go in there like the restraint, like no, that's not meal prep. That's not meal prep. That tastes amazing, but that ain't gonna fly, you know.
Does it taste good with sriracha? So that's all that matters, right?
Right. Yeah. If it tastes, and that's kind of the test right there. Is you taste it by itself. If it's cool, great. That tastes pretty good. But when you add sauce on it, it's like a whole new level.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I can eat that.
And when we had that meal that you brought to us, it had kick and spice to it on its own.
Yeah.
So we didn't even add that much sriracha. It was so good. Yeah.
That's the fun thing with spicy because you don't need a lot of sodium. Just spice it up.
Spice it up. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
Tapatio, whatever. We even, it's the sauces is where you got to start watching out though. That's where you could go wrong, and that's where I've even as a trainer, you have to pull back the reins on that. Of course, just having too much sauce can be a bad thing.
Oh yeah.
But no, it's awesome. What do you see as the future for $5 Mealz, and what do you hope to see from
the future? For sure, I hope that people use it not as a subscription, like every single week thing. I hope they use it. Definitely, what a couple of your clients are doing right now. Perfect example. They use it when they need it. It's a tool that's there for them. It's not something that they have to start and quit. It's something that they need to use when they need it. Like they can't prep that week, they call us. They can't do it. It's not something. I think some people think that meal prepping is like a phone bill, and like you have it, you start it. And then I use it for 6 or 8 weeks. It didn't, something happened, vacation happened, and you're off for 1 week, and all of a sudden you're gone.
Yeah.
And then you're not even on meal prep. You're not even cooking. You're just like, if I can't do it that way, I'm not doing it at all. Yeah. So I kind of want it to be more of a tool, not the only asset.
Yeah. That's a really, really good point to make. I have a client who wants it to be more like that, where she's not using it occasionally. She's like, I don't want to have to think about cooking at all, so I just want to, go full on into meal prep, which
we're not mad about.
Yeah.
The business isn't bad.
Right. But we hope that people don't use it as like, or think that they have to have a relationship with the company to where if they stop ordering, it's like, hey, sorry, we're done. Like, hey, don't worry. It's like in and out. You pull up, you get a burger when you want. You don't come back for 2 weeks. You're on a diet. They're not going like, hey, guys, you going to buy some burgers? Like, we know you'll be back. It's in and out,
Yeah. Starbucks gets mad at us when we don't show up.
Right. That's true, they do.
They stop saying your name.
Yeah. They're like,
they forget you.
What was your name again?
I think it's really important to mention that, because we do fall into that trap of if I'm not on a 10, then I'm at the 1. If I'm not meal prepping or buying meal prepping service, then I'm just going to eat crap, whatever. Right. And I've even seen that in my clients over the years, that if I have them on a meal plan, or if they're doing a meal prep service and they're in that structure, it's all good. But then once they take one little step out of that, then they just go the whole other direction.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's the trainer in you speaking to you don't want them to just lean on this as a crutch, because $5 Mealz, every time you give them that meal, you're basically teaching them what a good base meal should look like, you know, and you're teaching them this doesn't have to just be me making it for you. You can go out and buy this stuff if you want. You can go out and make it if you want. This isn't just food that's restricted to us,
Right.
And each time you give those meals, you're teaching them what a healthy meal should look like, and hopefully they're taking that. And if they aren't able to get the $5 Mealz, if they aren't able to subscribe and be able to come back and be a recurring client and for business, they should be able to then say, okay, well, now I have to take the time to go ahead and make this, instead of just go the completely other direction and just eat whatever.
Right. That's the cool thing about it too, because on both sides, somebody comes up, hey, Bryan, I need to talk. We need to really sit down and talk about my food. I'm like, okay, cool. What do you want to do? I want to lose fat. I want to build muscle. Like we all do, right? Whether you're trying to build muscle or lose fat, it's the same food, just a different amount, right? And so I really want to get serious. Okay, great, cool. So nonchalant. This is going to take an hour and a half. In their mind, this is going to take about 2 seconds for me, right? Yeah. All right, cool. Just eat chicken and rice, ground turkey and sweet potatoes, And so I think that aha moment for understanding how simple it is, it's really a cool tool for a trainer and myself when I literally put out the meals, like, this is what you're going to eat today. Here's 3 meals, and then, have 2 protein shakes or 1, or here's 4 meals. There it is. You don't have to, they're like, all of a sudden they don't have to really think. They're just like, they don't use an app. Like, all right, how many grams of carbs was in that special sauce at Chipotle? Or it's simple. It's like, I just need to eat these 4 things and drink this 1 shake, and I don't have to think about my macronutrients anymore or protein count anymore.
Yeah. And that's the easiest way to make sure that they're actually seeing those results.
Yeah.
It's when they step out of that, and I hope that people who are listening to this and considering whether they want to purchase from $5 Mealz, which we absolutely recommend, great meals, but always be educating yourself about what is helping you to reach your own goals? How can you help yourself reach your own goals? Because whether you have the time to make food or you don't, you should be seeing that as the goal, right?
100%.
Whether you have to purchase it from $5 Mealz, or whether you have to go ahead and spend that night and make that food and cook it, you have to see that as the goal and the only option for you as far as what is actually going to help you to reach your goals. Because going out and building these bad habits of eating out and eating pizza and eating burgers and having, and even just not tracking, right? You're right. It's the same food. We don't condone like if it fits your macros and the idea of like cheat meals and we have this thing of like we don't believe in controlling yourself for the sake of not controlling yourself. So basically eating clean 5 days out of the week for the sake of just going crazy on Saturday and Sunday.
Try to find that 6 or 7. Just stay at that 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Don't go 10. Don't fall off to 1. Stay at that 6 or 7.
Yeah. And then when you do feel like when clients do feel like they're just the cravings are just so overwhelming that they have to eat more, they have to eat this, that they want to eat the sweets or the fatty foods or the salty foods. Recognize those cravings, right? It's not a bad thing that you feel those cravings. It's a bad thing that you give into them so willingly, right? It's not a bad thing that you appreciate the taste of sweet food. It's not a bad thing you appreciate the taste of salty or fat food. Fat, carbs, protein, sugar, it's all stuff that works with our body to the extent that it's appropriate. And we just, again, with the culture, we just have learned to abuse these things and have it whenever we want, wherever we want, wherever we want.
It's right down the street.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
One thing too, touching on what you said, the people that are out there kind of like maybe just started working out with you. They've been training with you for 6 weeks. Obviously, somebody that pays for personal training expects this crazy result in 30 days because we've seen these 30-day quote-unquote transformations. So I think that one thing we have to do is back up your expectations for sure. Yeah. And then also, number 2, put it all together at once. Have you ever actually had good training sessions mixed with the right amount of food and then also taken away the bad stuff all at the same time? I think we've all been like, oh yeah, I ate clean for 4 days, or I trained for 7 days, or I didn't eat beer this week, or I didn't have beer this weekend. But have you ever done all 3 together?
Yeah.
And then once you have, I challenge you to do that for 5 days and then see how long you can go for that. And that's really the goal, right?
And the best way to set this up,
you're like, oh crap, it works.
And the best thing to set this up for clients is that you have all those things in place. And so if things do fall through the cracks and they don't hit that expectation, that goal, then you know exactly why.
Right.
You weren't, we talk this all the time. You weren't sleeping enough. You weren't making sure you had good macronutrients throughout the day. You were eating overindulgently. You didn't know exactly how many calories you put into your body, or at least some general idea of how many calories you were putting into your body. You just ate when you felt satisfied, which can be totally generic.
Easy to do.
Easy to do.
There are so many different outlets of things that have to come together for your body to see good results, and I think a lot of the times clients expect one of those outlets to fulfill everything. Like if I just eat clean, then everything else should be
and good results as opposed to the best results.
Yeah.
Because if you start getting $5 Mealz and you start training with a client, you're going to see better results. But if you're not sleeping, if you're only sleeping 4 hours every single day, you're not going to see the best results.
Right.
And that's why everything needs to be looked at.
And one thing, don't ever point your finger at the trainer, because I love when people come in to either talk about their trainer or the protein they're taking or the meal. Like some people, no matter what field it is, this training doesn't work. Okay, great. This protein doesn't work. Okay, great. This meal didn't work. Okay, so tell me how the chicken was supposed to work. What was it supposed to do? Like one meal you ate and you're supposed to have muscles now? Like,
I'm gonna wake up like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
And Adam didn't. Adam's doing his job, dude. Like he's doing fine. You're not doing your job.
And there's no amount of volume. There's no amount of cardio. There's no amount of workouts that's gonna make up for that extra.
Yeah, you can't burn it off right away.
Right.
Exactly.
And you have to understand the importance and the reality that it's much more beneficial for you to learn how to have self-control and not have that extra scoop of rice or that extra handful of nuts or that extra whatever, because it's 300 calories, than for you to feel the need to punish yourself and spend an hour running on the treadmill, burning those 300 calories when you could have just
not eaten.
When you could have just not eaten them.
Now you're back at 0 and you worked way too hard and you're tired now.
And now you're fatigued, and it's again time is wasted.
That's a good point about the nuts, because I see a lot of people that come in and they talk about, well, I eat really healthy. And so just because something's a healthy fat or a healthy carb or a healthy protein, it doesn't mean that eating tons of it is going to make you look different. You can get like olive oil is a very healthy quote unquote oil, right? Whatever that means, the word health. And so like, I just eat olive oil, I'm healthy now. Like no. And so I think putting it all together, and then as a trainer, like I got to give lots of credit to you guys. Like most people that are out there, if you're one of his clients or her clients, like most trainers I know, they train you, they see you tomorrow. And like it's crazy. You guys put videos, like podcasts now. Like you guys reach out and actually try to massage each person, which is cool. That's awesome.
And our thing is just thank you. We just want to make sure that we'll say it almost every single podcast episode. We'll say it almost every single video. Good posture, making sure you have good balance, and if we say it enough, it'll sink in, right?
We say overwhelm you with as much as we're saying.
And it's honestly the same message, right? You want to have balance. You want to make sure you're not overindulging in foods that are gonna make you put on extra body fat. Mm-hmm. You need to make sure that you're having a good training plan that's putting you on a resistance training program, maybe a little bit of cardio, ultimately just working the body that you have to build a strong metabolism, to build strength and make strength and range of motion the focus, and then cardio is a tool, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe in making my clients run for hours or anything like that.
I never do.
You build their metabolism by building their strength and their muscle and their form.
To build the metabolism, you need to metabolize.
Exactly.
Keep eating.
Yeah. I think a lot of that just stems from, we want our clients to be able to do it on their own, one day and not have to train with us forever. We want them to recognize.
That's huge as a trainer too, and I think a lot of people are going to respect that, because the corporate gyms, I don't like to say corporate, I hate that word, but like the mass majority of, and you can even take a small business owner that does it, the information that's mostly put out by most people out there training is that, okay, we have to keep a reoccurring business here, right? And so in all honesty, if you don't succeed, that's better for the trainer, because guess what? You're stuck with us.
Yeah.
And I think that exactly what you just said was perfect. You're almost just a class. Like, it's here, this is how you stretch, this is how you mobilize, this is how you eat. And now after a year or whatever time amount, some people are going to stay with you for 20 years. That's just, they want somebody who's going to train them, and that's nothing wrong with that. You can never stop learning. But for the majority of clients who come in, try to go through the program and don't get anything out of it because they feel they're like, I have to be there forever. Like, don't do that. Use what you guys are doing. It's great, and hopefully they're out there. Go on their Instagram. I watch all their videos. I like all your stuff. It's good information.
And we make sure too. Like we just had a client who's going to be going off into the military, and we sent him off with saying, these are the tools that we've gone over in the last two years, and this is what we've worked on. It wasn't what do you mean you're not gonna come back and whatever. No, it is.
Here's a $5 off. Your next one's like
exactly.
Maybe we'll fight for the country now. Like, shut up.
I've raised you up to learn these things and to be able to perform this way, lose this body fat, build this strength, and I feel like a father. I feel like a father sending off his child to the world. And
there's nothing that makes a trainer feel better than seeing a client 5 to 10 years later, and they're like jacked or like they're still lean, and they're either a trainer themselves now, or you just see them just have this aura about them. Which
like the confidence.
They're you. It's like, I don't have anything to tell you anymore.
Or even the confidence, right? The confidence that they built, the relationship that you've built with them from trainer to client.
Well, that's why we're all here, because what the feeling you and I all had when we first changed our body and realized, oh wow, I figured it out. I gotta go tell everybody. It's crazy. It's awesome.
Absolutely.
That's what keeps us going. I mean, I remember being 15 and as soon as I got the right methods down, even though it was pumped in my head for 2 or 3 years, it took a long time. Dude, that's all I talked about. And that's all I have talked about for since I was 16 years old, 15.
And I think that's what makes the difference between a trainer who has integrity and a trainer who doesn't. A trainer who's actually passionate about what he does is that you actually want to help people.
Your life.
You want to build those relationships and help them see their goals happen. That I started out in a corporate gym as well, and just kind of seeing how you're limited on time. They don't want you working overtime. They don't want you working at home. Otherwise, they're kind of going to expect you to work at home.
Right.
They're all these things that are kind of restrictive and keeping you from actually doing everything that maybe this client needs. Maybe this client needs to have this 30-minute conversation with you after their session because this life event happened and they're depressed and they're not going to get sleep tonight because of that, and you could talk to them and encourage them and motivate them in something that's actually going to be beneficial to their next session and help them with their diet, help them with their sleep, that is totally outside of working out and weights. That relationship that you build, you going place to place delivering these meals, and even saying like, hey, if you can't do the $5 meals and you want to start making this on your own, go ahead. This is our service. We're just trying to help. That is where we can draw our motivation.
We want to earn it. Yeah, we want to earn it. Of course, we're all doing this for our lives and business, great, but we put the person first. Yeah. Period. So if you're not a client now, you might know 25 people that are. I'm not going to cut myself. Oh, you don't want to buy them? We'll buy it. You might know 35 trainers that need it for their clients. Like why shut short? So, yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm glad we crossed paths. I'm glad we crossed paths too.
Brian, where can we find you?
$5 Mealz on Instagram. Hopefully one of your posts that they throw out there. No, I'm just kidding.
Absolutely. No, we're gonna shout you guys out, and then
thank you.
And the awesome benefit that we found from you guys is that you guys listen to your customers. You guys are providing your service with integrity, and that's something we absolutely saw right from the get-go, from the moment we met you. And we're super excited to see the growth of the business and see what
we're excited too. We won't let anybody down. We'll keep going. All right. If the phone rings, we answer.
Well, we hope we talk with you again. Okay.
We'll be back. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having us.
You take care.
All right. We'll see you.
Hey guys, Adam here. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. Be sure to visit actfitnessacademy.com for more free resources, take our free quiz, and follow us on Instagram at actfitnessacademy. And if you like what you hear, give us a 5-star rating and review, and subscribe so that you can be tuned in for more new episodes.